if you're just now joining us, we are covering a very fluid situation out of the D.C. area right now. A commercial American Airlines flight operated by PSA Airlines as part of the American Eagle network collided with an Army helicopter late last night. Both aircrafts ended up in the Potomac River, where recovery efforts are underway right now.
American Airlines obviously headquartered out of Fort Worth, and that's where Trevor Sahaki is this morning, waiting for the latest updates. Trevor, we just heard a press conference from multiple federal officials, but also local officials, as well as the American Airlines CEO, Robert Isom. What's the latest, and what did you take away from what they had to say?
Yeah, Madison and Carmen, I think my biggest takeaway was the word standard. You heard it multiple times during the press conference that we just listened to. They mentioned that both the helicopter and the plane were on standard flight paths. This plane, as we know, it was descending coming in to DCA, and this helicopter was a Black Hawk Army helicopter. It was on a standard flight path as well. But of course, as they then said later in the press conference in answers to some questions, this was not a standard accident, obviously. I mean, we had both aircraft hit each other. So the big question moving forward now is what happened here. That is still something that sounds like officials are still trying to figure out as we listen to that press conference. But of course, the biggest news coming out of that press conference as well is that they said that they don't believe there are any survivors of this crash. They said they have moved from a search and rescue effort to a recovery effort now. And again, they mentioned there was, I believe they said 27 people that they have recovered from the plane and one person from the helicopter, for a total of 28 people who have died in this crash so far. And of course, they said that they are searching to that recovery effort, so they don't plan, it sounds like, they don't plan on being able to get any more survivors, and that death count they expect will rise. We've also learned that a lot of people on this plane were actually figure skaters, because they were coming from Wichita, Kansas, where the National Figure Skating Championship was just held. And they said the U.S. Figure Skating Association said that several members of their community were on this plane. Now, I want you to take a listen to what air traffic control heard at the moment of this crash.
I did have a conversation with the Situation Room where the president was located, as well as with Secretary Hegseth. We were exchanging information. I would just note that not just the local team, but the federal team has performed very well in this crisis.
I'd like to express our deep sorrow about these events. This is a difficult day for all of us at American Airlines, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, partners, first responders, along with their families and loved ones.
And that was American Airlines CEO Robert Isom. We'll get to that air traffic control sound in our next half hour. But CEO Robert Isom there expressing his deepest sorrow to the members who were involved in this crash. American Airlines has also set up a 1-800 number. If you believe that you have friends or family who were involved in this plane crash, you can find that at the bottom of your screen. And we'll continue to bring you the latest updates on this crash as we get them. For now, live in Fort Worth, Trevor Sahaki, CBS News, Texas.